Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today I'm looking at crime in Elite Dangerous. More to the point, does crime, i.e. piracy, smuggling and salvaging, well salvaging is probably a bit of a grey area, not typically crime, but nonetheless, do these actually pay in the latest version of Elite with Chapter 1 of Beyond? And do keep in mind that everything in this video is all against NPCs, there's no PvP piracy here. So is it all worth it? Well, turns out this is a little bit of a hairy question because the answer really isn't all that straightforward, and it will rather depend on just how much money you actually want and how fast you want to get it. So first off then, let's take a look at a bit of piracy. Now I spent quite a while doing this, both interdicting my targets as well as trying to select them here at the nav beacons. Either way, you're very much at the mercy of the RNG depending on what actually generates or what type of ships actually spawn in. You can be a bit more choosy when you're in Super Cruise because you can choose what type of ship you actually want to interdict, and apparently some of them can have quite high value cargo, although unfortunately for me I wasn't able to find anything much more valuable than the prototype tech I've got here in the hauler. But as we get further into the video, we'll have a look at the salvaging section on the commodities market, and we can see just how valuable some of the commodities actually are. Locating a black market is very easy, of course, just use the new filters on the galaxy map as we saw in a previous video, and we can now sell our commodities. So you can see the prototype tech is marked as stolen, and that's because we did pirate it, and it's worth just over 4,000 credits, so not too bad all in all. But you are going to need a lot of them before they actually stack up and hold anything worthwhile for you. So salvage then, whether you obtain it through fair means or foul, can have extremely high value. The value at this particular station you can see in the left sell column are quite low, but over on the right on the galactic average there's some very good prices there, and those are typical for most of the stations around the galaxy. This one here, like I say, is particularly low. The one you really want to look out for though is antique jewellery. And apparently, although I weren't able to find any, these are available in unidentified signal sources as well as on certain ships, personal couriers I believe. So if you can find them then, unlike me, then those would be your targets, either through piracy or through hunting down on salvage. Now here I'm going to try my hand at a bit of smuggling, and I'm after combat stabilizers in this particular instance, and it turns out that the filters are not working all that well. There might be something wrong with them, but I was just testing them out here. So import price, looking for combat stabilizers, this would be the price that you can sell them to the station at. So 3,630, and we're going to check that right at the station, and I'll explain why I'm doing this in just a moment. So combat stabilizers are under the medicine section, and you can see combat stabilizers are there for the same price. So yep, this works, and import is indeed the price that you can sell to the station at. That all seems pretty obvious then, so why did I have any confusion in the first place? Well, it turns out that not all the filters on the galaxy map accurately represent what is going on, and to show you what I mean, we'll have a look again at combat stabilizers, this time at the export price. So these should be locations where we can buy combat stabilizers, and you can see apparently we can buy combat stabilizers from over at Shinrata Desra. Oh, and apparently we can also buy them from here at Essemundi. But there's a problem, and we're going to jump into the system map to see exactly what the problem is. Yep, look at that. The system or the particular product is illegal in that system, so they really shouldn't be selling it. And again, I know for a fact that Shinrata Desra does not sell combat stabilizers. And just to test this theory out a little bit more, let's have a look for another product or another commodity, this time Imperial Slaves. And it seems Shinrata Desra also sell these, or according to the galaxy map. So anyone who's been to the Founder's World will know that isn't true, and not at all, not even close. But let's go back to the medicines for the moment and the combat stabilizers, and we'll jump into the system map to get a little bit of a closer look at exactly what is going on. So theoretically, if we go into the system map, these items should be prohibited at any of the stations here, or indeed all of the stations here. And let's have a look at the details tab. And down at the bottom, right there in the prohibited list, you can see combat stabilizers are illegal at that station. And just to test that, here we are at the city, North City, and let's scroll down to medicines in the commodities market, and you can see that indeed North City does not sell combat stabilizers. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is just to save any confusion over how the trading system actually works. It's not 100% working accurately for some reason at the moment, and it may be an issue that needs to be fixed. At any rate, I very easily found combat stabilizers using the website eddb.io, and here you can see how much profit we make from these at the black market. So 2,000 credits per item. If you come over here in a Type 9, you're probably going to make quite a bit of money. And to be a bit more specific, in a Type 9, that should work out to roughly 1.4 million per run. So smuggling is certainly good, depending on the commodity you get, as is piracy, if you can get the right target. And I did fail at that most of the time. The right target just didn't seem to spawn. The same is true for the unidentified signal sources here. Degraded emission sources are very good. As you can see here, they have a load of commodities, but not always highly valuable ones, or one would have thought. It turns out, though, that occupied cryopods are now worth quite a bit of money. So again, if you've got a large ship, you'll be able to take all of these and bring them back to a station. Now these you don't sell on the black market. Instead, you go into contacts and you sell them on search and rescue. But on this occasion, I had a fine because I was also carrying illegal cargo, or illicit cargo. Illegal cargo would have got me destroyed. Illicit cargo just gets you a fine. And we can now sell this on the black market. That was some more prototype tech. We've seen this already. As well as some crop harvesters. So just to be clear, the black market you can sell stolen goods on. You can also sell illicit and illegal cargo on as well. So search and rescue for the occupied cryopods, and you can see I've only got 2 of them. But the whole point of this exercise is just to see how much money can be made per unit. And 24,000 is pretty good. There was quite a lot of them back at that site, and had I had a large ship, I would have collected all of them. Also, unlike the other activities I've been doing, this one here can leave you feeling pretty good because you've been out there and saved and helped a few people. So that's a very brief look at piracy, smuggling, as well as salvaging. Now, like I say, the profits aren't all that good if you don't get the right sort of commodity, and it's going to take a bit of time to get the right commodities, especially if you're just hunting down ships or doing piracy. But if you want to get some of the best profits possible, then the smuggling really is the way to go, and you're going to want some of the high value items. Nerve agents seem to be very good for that, but there's only a very limited amount of places that actually sell these, and all of them seem to be down on planets, so you will need access to horizons in order to get down here. And once again, in order to test this out, I was in a relatively small ship just to cover those rather vast jump distances quite quickly. But you'd be much better off doing this in a larger cargo ship such as a Type 9 or a cutter, where you can carry as many items as you possibly can. The only downside is that if you get scanned when carrying that amount of cargo, you're going to get a pretty hefty fine, as fine is a percentage of what you're actually carrying. But nerve agents, in a Type 9 at least, will probably net you around about 2.5 to maybe 3 million a run, depending on where you can get them, so pretty good profits here. Ultimately then, is criminal behaviour any good within Elite Dangerous at the moment? Is it profitable, more to the point, in Chapter 1? Well, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a very hairy question, because all of this involves a lot of messing around. There's some things that don't work quite properly, and there's another lot of things that involve heavily on RNG or random generation, so they can be very hit and miss. But when they work pretty well. So if you can get past all the hurdles, then it's well worth giving it a shot. But if you want huge amounts of money very quickly, then you're certainly best off avoiding all of this. Now, I didn't look at any PvP criminal activity in this. That seems to be in here very hard with the recent updates. It's going to take a bit of time to see how that all pans out, but I'm very interested to hear what happens and see how it goes. But as I've said to numerous groups out there, we're really going to have to wait and see what Frontier plan for future player interactions with regards to criminality. Hopefully that's something that's coming in a future update. I also didn't touch on the new megaships interactions yet in this video, which of course does involve some criminal gameplay as well, so that's something I'll be coming to in another video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.